What is up, guys, and welcome to episode 8 of Game Focus. Now, normally we'd go straight into what you're playing, but I've just got to mention we're now going to do it every other week, so we have time to get more news stories and more opinions on the game we've been playing, etc, etc. So hopefully that's not too big of a problem for people. But with that said, I need to ask Ply, what have you been playing?
I've been playing some Crash Bandicoot 2.
Crash Bandicoot 2, sticking with the Insane Trilogy.
Yeah, the Insane Trilogy, yeah. So I finished that yesterday. Well,
How are you finding that in relation to the first one?
I'm finding it a lot easier.
A lot easier.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
I think I got to about the third world and I just sort of stopped playing it.
Right. Yeah, there was only one level that gave me... Oh, no, two levels that would give me trouble. It was like one where it was raining, you had to jump on these platforms, but they were moving left and right.
Alright.
And you had to jump over it, but with the rain, you had to... You know, it kept sliding you off.
Oh, did it actually have... I don't remember that in the original game. It's like slip physics.
Yeah, it seemed like it, and then... Well, it's because, you know, it's moving down, so you had to move up. But sometimes, you know, with the depth, I was just like, you know, thinking, oh, I can reach that when you jump.
Yeah, I
to the
struggle
right,
with that at times. You can't quite tell how far you're going to make a jump and what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great for that.
Yeah. It was funny, actually, because Ben said, you won't down the final boss on that game, or fail it, and I failed it like 3 times.
I can't remember what the final boss is in that game.
We'll give a spoiler warning, but yeah, well, it's Cortex again.
Yeah.
It's like going along on a jetpack, and you just have to basically get to him and press square. But
Alright, okay.
that's one thing I'm awful with the jetpack on that game.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't get that far when I was playing it myself.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. Not as stressful as the first one in terms of difficulty.
I don't think much is going to be as stressful as the first thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably the most annoying game of this year.
Yeah. In terms of difficulty, yeah. But yeah, like I said, I've enjoyed it. On to the third one.
Oh, you started the third one now?
Yeah, I started it. I think I've done the first 10 or 15 levels.
So you've done 2 bosses?
Yeah, it might be 2 or 3.
What were the bosses then? Tiny Tiger and... What's the second one?
Oh, is it Dino or something?
Oh, Dingo Dial.
Yeah, it might be him, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's Dino Dial, I think he's called.
Might be, yeah. The only thing with Crash 3, I don't like, you know, the vehicles, like races and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
No, they're not fun. They were never fun back in the day.
Yeah, like I remember doing, I think there's 2 of them where you have to race the bikes.
Yeah, you have to be really precise, don't you, to actually get past stuff.
Yeah, and then when you go on the boost, it would just like, you go too fast around the corner, you just can't, and then I didn't realise if you press brake, you can actually cancel it, because like Ben told me that in the stream.
Yeah,
so,
it is an irritating game, that.
Yeah, because they haven't improved it, but...
Second and third, there's still moments of like frustration, I think.
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
So Crash Bandicoot 2 and partially 3.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
I played a little bit of Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh, okay. Super Mario Sunshine.
Yeah.
I played this one.
Yeah, that's the one on the GameCube.
Well, you have like a little water gun type thing, don't you? Like a water pistol?
Yeah, it's called Flood, I believe.
Right.
Like, at the beginning of the game, it's basically like you're playing Crashes, I think. Okay. Yeah, and then you have to find it because it's this like goo stuff and whatnot. Yeah. So you go over and you pick up the like water thing, what's called the Flood, and you use that to like, you know, like get rid of the ink and whatnot. Nothing
to do with Halo.
No. Yeah, definitely not. No. Like thinking of like early Splatoon, really. That's probably where they got the idea from.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is it? How does it play then? Is it just like Splatoon? You've got the gun and you squirt and stuff.
Yeah, because the thing with the triggers, because you slightly put it down like the right back trigger, like a slight bit to just like, you know, just to shoot it. Then if you want to aim it up and down, you need to hold it in, like fully in.
Oh god, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, so I wonder how they would do that on the Switch, you know, if they brought it to GameCube Virtual Console, you know, with the triggers.
Yeah, cause it's not. Yeah, they'd have to remap one of the triggers to be the aimer, wouldn't they?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awkward. Maybe that game won't come across then for that reason.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I am enjoying the game. It seems to hold up as well. Like, it is a bit fuzzy, you know. It is an SD game after all, but
yeah,
like it still holds up. Like
grim
aesthetic, yeah. And it actually has voice acting in it. Like
voice act. That must be like. How does Mario sound? Does he sound as weird as you expect?
Well, I think it's like, you know, like Zelda Breath of the Wild, where the main character doesn't really talk. He just does the, you know, like. But Peach and like Toad talk and Bowser.
Proper like voice, like lines.
Yeah, it's very cheesy.
Whoa, that's weird.
But yeah, because it's meant to be like a vacation, like the start of the story.
Yeah, but you play Crashes.
Yeah, well, I don't think the plane crashes. I think it's something obstructing it, and then they land it. And
I see.
I'll just tell you the start of the thing, and then basically they're blaming Mario for all the graffiti and whatnot around the. It's called Delfino Square, but it's not actually Mario. It's like some like ghost Mario with a brush.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Wario or something.
Oh no, it's not Wario. No. So basically, that's what it is. So they arrest Mario.
They arrest Mario.
Yeah, and they say you need to clean this up because if it's not you, then that's the start of the game. Then you go.
I bet there's not many Mario
levels.
games where you get arrested.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
It's Mario's job to clean up the mess. And like I said, he's got his
Sounds like a
little
fun
jetpack. It is like I haven't played much of it. I've only played a lot of it. Like, I've got to like 10 shines. I think there's 16 total.
Whoa. So is it sort of like 30 hours, something like that, or is it sort of 15-ish?
I suppose it depends how long it takes you to do each level.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like, you know, you have your bosses and then stuff like that.
It's not open world or anything like that.
No, I won't say it's fully open world, no, because you go through like teleportation like you did in like Mario 64, but they're like M's, like, you know, like M Mario, and you have to like spray paint it and then you go into each level like that. Like you have like a plaza, that's like the main hub world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds like a fun little game.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you've been playing?
My final game, if you remember me saying in the previous episode that I did want to play some Zelda Ocarina of Time, I actually did.
Yes, you went and played it.
Yep. Still enjoyable. Yeah, I played it all to the end.
What do you have to think about it now? Now it's fresh in your mind.
Still as good as I remember it. Only one thing. It's funny because, you know, the water temple, what everyone hates. Like, I must have spent about 3 hours just in that temple.
For real?
Yeah.
God.
There was one certain bit. The funny thing is, I did joke because I was live streaming it. I did joke. I said, "I bet you what, I'll forget the center bit. You know, in the center bit where the water rises, and you're meant to use the boots to go underneath it.
The magnetic boots.
Yeah, the magnetic boots to go underneath the like platform where you rise it up and then go underneath. Completely forgot about that. Then like I said it at the beginning of the temple. By the time I got to that bit, forgot about it. Spent about 2 hours just going around every like bit, like where I could go. Trying to find that final like key, small key, and I was just like, oh, I don't know where it is.
God.
And then someone said, oh, have you got that one underneath in the center? I was like, what center? And I was like, oh my God. After all that, I was just like, oh no.
It's famous, isn't it, for being an irritating. I don't know if it's hard, but it's time consuming, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think the main complaint was it back in the N64 because you only had 2 slots, didn't you? So you know you had to keep swapping out for the boots and the long shot, stuff like that.
Yes,
and
I believe so. The hook
and other
shot.
Weapons. Yeah, but I think it's the long shot you get in that dungeon, don't you?
Oh, right, okay. I can't remember that.
Yeah. It's still enjoyable. Like, even though after like playing it after Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. But it's a totally different type of game, isn't it? They're totally, like, they both play really different.
Yeah, that's true. Like the
Breath
songs
of the Wild totally
like
just redesigns how a Zelda game works.
Yeah. Yeah, apart from the water temple, I enjoyed it. I loved the music, like I said in the OST last time.
What did you think of the final boss? You don't have to go into spoilers, but I mean it's been out for a while now. You can do if you want to.
What do you mean the final boss?
Well, just both parts.
I thought it was quite good. Like, you know, like normally Zelda's known to have your little tennis match, as we call it.
Yeah.
Back and forth. Like,
it basically is. You're whacking a tennis ball between 2 swords.
Yeah.
And but it's a fireball, and it's not a tennis ball.
I do like it. That I think the intentional like slowdown, you know, when it hits him and then you jump along to attack him. That's pretty cool. Then the final like bit was cool, like the set piece of it, like him going big.
And you get the arrow, don't you, from the princess?
Mhm. Yeah, the lightning arrows.
Yeah, something like that.
Mhm.
Can't remember what they're called now. You get them in most of the Zelda games, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only thing that I didn't like about Zelda. They sort of stuck to the formula a bit too much. But now Breath of the Wild's come out, they've totally opened up on that.
All right, yeah. Well, you still had to use that in Breath of the Wild, didn't you?
You did, but it, like a lot of the game, it didn't rely on the same, you know, loops all the time.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
So yeah, Crash Bandicoot 2, and kind of 3, Super Mario Sunshine, and Ocarina of Time. It's
like a retro 2 weeks for me.
It is. It's that time of year, isn't it? You play those old games. Although saying that, 2 of my games are brand new, but whatever.
Yep.
So, the first game I'm going to talk about is Stardew Valley. It's a farming, I don't know, simulator?
I'd say so, like your Harvest Moon and whatnot.
Yeah, like Harvest Moon, perfect. when you start off, your grandfather says, here, when you get in dire needs, come to this farm and work on this farm. So eventually you end up going to this farm. And then from there, they basically just set out and just, you know, they let you free. You can build chicken coops, and you can plant crops, and you can talk to villagers and make friends. You can go to the mine. It's basically ultimate freedom to do what you want to, you know, essentially your goal is to earn money and upgrade your farm.
Right.
And get it to like the biggest and best you can get it. The only thing I found was because obviously it has these seasons. It came to winter, which is sort of like the down period because nothing really grows. So at that point, you go to the mine more. You look after your animals, make friends in the village. But by that point, because obviously you've been through spring, summer, autumn, it was kind of starting to, for me, maybe it's just a thing for me. It was starting to sort of
get a bit stale,
a bit repetitive. So I sort of got halfway through winter and I sort of stopped. I mean, obviously, when winter ends, year 2 will start. And I found an item on the farm that suggested that at year 3, a specific character is going to come and visit me. But I don't see myself getting that far into it. But if you're into that sort of game, it's definitely worth a check out. It's a lot of fun.
I noticed the developers tweeted the photo of the Switch version. Like, I noticed a lot of developers have been just like showing Switch pictures, indie games.
Yeah, that would be the perfect game on the Switch, to be honest, because you could play it for like an hour, and not an hour, even like 10 minutes, and just do your crops, talk to people, then go to sleep, and then turn it off.
Yeah,
and so and I think multiplayer is coming eventually, which multiplayer will help it a lot.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Because
obviously something like that, when you're building something, much like in like Minecraft and stuff, you build stuff together. You both sharing the look of it and like what you're actually building.
Yeah, well, it would sound like you said, better in co-op.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to. I don't know. I was going to say I'm definitely going to get it on the Switch. I don't know if I am.
Or would you wait for it till it's on sale, maybe?
Yeah, I think that'd be like what I'd do because I bought it on sale this time. So maybe if I were to buy it on sale the next time, it'd add up to one full purchase.
Yeah, because I imagine it will be full price when it comes to Switch.
Yeah, I think it'll be full price then some because it's a Switch game.
Yeah.
So the second game I want to talk about is called Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which it was posed by the developers. They wanted to make an indie style game, but with AAA budget, I believe they said.
Yeah.
And so this game, you play as a character who's going through. She's going to. I can't tell you why she's going there, but she's journeying into hell. And it's basically about her journey to hell. It's themed around Norse mythology.
Right.
It's got. But you play as a character called Senua, who obviously, she's the main character. It's the only character you really meet other than, villains. It's got a mix of combat, which the combat's quite simple, but it's really, really, really fun. You've basically got a parry button, slash block. If you press it at the right time, you'll parry.
Is it like your Dark Souls type or?
Kinda. I'd say it's got your parry. Just before they attack, you parry them, knock away, and then if you do an attack, you'll do like double damage or whatever, and it'll stun them.
Right.
You've got square. It's like a light slash. Triangle's a heavy slash, and then circle's like a kick. So like you might have an enemy with a shield up. So if you kick the enemy's shield, it'll knock it back. So then you can get in behind his shield and attack him. It's a weird game actually because gameplay's not gameplay. Sorry, the combat isn't the main focus of the game, which I found
more
kind
of
of
the
weird.
actual story.
The story, yeah, it's kind of like I saw someone describe it as a walking simulator with puzzles and a bit of sword action, and that's pretty much a perfect description for it. Because you are essentially walking around trying to find stuff. You'll come to areas where you've got to there's like these glyphs that they have on doors, and you've got to match up stuff in the environment to make these glyphs.
Right.
And so it's all about doing these puzzles more than the combat, I'd say. Which
How
is a
are
shame
they?
go on.
No, go on. Sorry.
I really enjoy the combat, which is a shame that there's not more of it. But the moments when it is in there, you feel like an absolute badass, because it's so good.
That's good then.
What are you going to ask? How the puzzles are?
Yeah. Do you know me with puzzles? I'm just like, because obviously I was thinking of getting this game.
Yeah, I think at the beginning, they're just enough to challenge you, to slow you down.
Right.
But there was one part, I'd say, I'm not finished it yet. I think I'm about an hour off the end, 2 hours off the end. There's about, 2/3 into the game. The puzzles start to get a little bit more tricky, but I don't think any of them...
You get used to it.
Yeah, I don't think any of them will tax you too much. The hardest ones, it puts you in like a maze, and it keeps telling you that there's a clue, but I couldn't work out what it meant. So in the end, I had to cheat and look up a tutorial on the internet.
Yeah.
But maybe I was just missing something that was blatantly in the environment.
Yeah, but something so obvious, and you'd be like, oh,
yeah,
that was
like a little arrow etched into the wood or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely a fun game. For what were it, £25, and so far it's lasted me 6 hours.
Reasonable price for that amount of hours, and like you say, you haven't finished it yet.
I've not finished it yet, but you buy some AAA games for more than that, and they're shorter than that, so it's kind of like they've gone above what they said about making an indie game with AAA budgets.
Just for reference, it's only digital only, because that's why they did it, to keep costs down.
I'd be interested to see how well it sells, to be honest.
Well, I think a lot of people have been talking about it. Like, it's getting great reviews as well, so that'll really help it even more.
I mean, some of the moments in it are so cool. Like, I can't really spoil it, but there's this bit where you go in and you have to fight like waves of enemies. And I know I just said that you don't fight combat modes, but this is like a specific moment where there's loads of enemies.
Right.
And by the end of that, it's so exhausting. But if you pass it, it's so like rewarding. Yeah. Right, it's weird as well. Actually, they tell you there's like a permadeath system, but it doesn't seem. I've never I've died twice. Well, I've died 3 times. One time is story based, like you have to die for it to tell you that the permadeath thing's in there.
Right.
And then there was 2 more, which was a really frustrating. Like I don't really want to spoil it for you, but it's like a specific enemy that it felt cheap. Put it that way. But other than that, it felt it was the combat's. It's good enough that you can stay alive if you fight hard enough. Right. So I really enjoyed the combat of that.
That's good then. How are the graphics?
The graphics are great. The realism on the specifically Senua is so impressive. It's like I think what they have done is just mapped her body as she's done the mocap. It's got all these minute details. Yeah. So like when she frowns, you can see all the little creases in the the eyebrow area and that sort of thing.
Well, that's good then.
It's crazy the mocap that they've used for this. That's why I'm surprised they've done it so cheap. The budget should be ridiculous.
I suppose if it's not like a famous mocap actress or actress.
I wonder if it's just existing technology that they already had from.
Because they did Devil
May Cry and they made Enslaved. I wonder if it's something they had from, from that and they just built it up because obviously Enslaved had.
Andy Serkis.
Not Enslaved. Yeah, Andy Serkis in it. Obviously, yeah. So I wonder if it's something to do with what they used there.
Yeah, because they might have that like you said already set up.
And the final game I want to talk about is called Pyre. Have you ever heard of Pyre?
Has it just recently come to the store?
Yeah, basically. It's kind of like it's basically 3-on-3. You have a party of characters who you'll look more as you go through the story. And what it is essentially basketball. There's an orb that's dropped in the middle of this battlefield, and you've each got like a pyre, basically, like a big fire at either side of the arena, and you've got to grab the ball, and you've got to take it and put it in the enemy's fire, and different, you've got a heavy character who they'll do more damage to the fire, but they're slower, so you obviously might get killed before you get there, and then you've got the small characters who do less damage to the fire, but they move really quickly, and it's kind of like it's almost like a strategic sports game.
No, that sounds interesting. Sounds something
really
different.
Cool. You can obviously you can charge into the fire and you get the most points, or you can throw the ball into the fire and you get slightly less points. Every character has like an aura around them, like a ring around the feet, just to display your health meter.
Right.
And when you're holding the ball, that disappears. So if an enemy's aura touches you while you haven't got the ball, your character gets killed out.
Straight away.
So it's sort of and then your character will disappear for the respawn rate. Mm-hmm. So you've sort of got balance whether you run into the fire and get him killed or you let him, you keep on the outside and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now, it's not just that. It has like a story to it. I don't know if you've ever seen like Banner Saga where you're journeying through the environment and you'll get to like a certain point and your party of characters will say, like one of them will say, we need to go this way. And the other will say, no, if we go this way, we'll do this. And then you've got to choose which one you want to do.
Right.
And so you build up your relationship with your party and, stuff like that affects everything about your morale and how good certain characters are when playing the game. Essentially,
sounds interesting.
It's definitely a fun game. It's when you get into the gameplay, you just want to keep going back to it.
Yeah, well, that's good then.
It's it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend Pyre. It was $15.99 as well. I just saw it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get that.
PlayStation, I guess.
Yeah, I've got it on PlayStation. I believe it's on Xbox and PC as well.
Right.
Whereas I should say actually, Hellblade is only on PS4. Oh, no, it's PC as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's PC and PS4. Yeah.
So yeah, they're my free games: Stardew Valley, Hellblade, and Pyre. So up next, we'll jump into the news. We actually have 5 stories to talk about this week. I'm going to try and remember to do them in order that they came out. So I believe we'll start with the PS Plus price jump to start off with. So the PS Plus in Europe, or is it just the UK? I can't remember.
It's Europe.
Europe, okay. So it's going up. It's going from, it was annually $39.99 and it's now going to $49.99. Quarterly, it's gone from $14.99 to $19.99. And monthly, it's gone from $5.99 to $6.99. I believe that goes into effect on 31st of July. This seems really shifty because if you've seen the email that they're sent to people, they don't tell you why it's going up.
It would just be a generic email about saying, "Oh, to improve the services or to keep like the great service, we'll need to put the price up."
But it's so frustrating. I wish they could just be like honest with you and say, "Right, we're putting it up. We're gonna give you better PS Plus game. You know, like tell us why we should care that you're putting it up." It's like for me personally, I don't really play online games, so like I could get rid of it and it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
It's weird, especially how you've got like your PS Plus games. You get 2 for PS4, 2 for PS3, and 2 for Vita. So basically, out of the 6 games they give you, I get 2 a month. The PS4 games. So it's like they need to. I think they need to better incentivize. Well, sometimes the Vita ones are cross compatible, but I think they need to find a way to incentivize it more. I don't know what you think on this situation.
No, I'm the same. Like I said previously, I just wish that they did like another subscription where you could just pay for the online and then pay with if you want the games as well, you can do it that way.
That would be a lot better way of doing it. If it was like half the price and you just got to play online, but you didn't get the games that came with it.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like some of the games, I've Rocket League, enjoyed that. That was free. I wouldn't have bought that out of the blue, but most of the games I don't actually play on PS Plus.
Well, the problem for me there is half of them I own before they come on.
Yeah, well,
it's kind of like
Until Dawn
for me.
Yeah.
And there's so many little indie games. It's like, oh, that's cool, that's come out, but I've already had it for 3 months.
Yeah.
It's a really weird service.
And hopefully they improve the actual servers of the game.
They need to do that. PS4. If it's going up in price, there's no excuses now. It has to be flawless.
Yeah. I don't think it will be. I just think this is more of a money move.
I think they've jacked the prices up and not going to change.
Yeah. Just for reference, if there's any American viewers, we know yours went up a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
We thought, we got away with it. But, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do anything for the American service, did they? It stayed the same.
No, it's just the same, yeah. So it's probably the same.
Probably the same. Why didn't they just do it all at the same time, though? That'd have been weird. What they've effectively done is put the target on the back twice.
Yeah.
If they'd done it all at the same time, it'd just been once they got grief, but now they've got it twice. It's really weird.
I imagine they've done it as well because Sony's divisions, PlayStation is the only profitable one.
Yeah.
So, and the PlayStation one is the most money coming in. So
the only thing I could see happening potentially is the PS3, PS Plus games disappearing, and maybe one more PS4 game.
Yeah, I'd hope that, or even just do one PS3 game and then and then do another PS4.
Because they don't really make many PS3 games anymore, do they? What are they putting on that service?
Yeah, they must have done all the best ones by now.
Exactly, they must just be putting on not trash, but new indie stuff.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that Knack's not on there, being on PS4.
What is happening? They should have put that on first month after it went up in price. And gone, this is why it went up, this game right here, that you can buy from shops for £10. Not even that, I don't think.
Well, I think it's £4 on PSN at the minute.
Oh, is it? Oh, there you go then.
Yeah.
That'll be on next month then.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that, Killzone, Shadowfall, your launch title games are still not on.
Yeah, Killzone, why is that not on there? Yeah, very bizarre.
Yeah.
Why is the infamous Second Son not popped up on it?
Yeah. Maybe they're still selling it, I don't know. That's the only thing, the reason why.
I don't think Knack's selling. And I don't think... I wonder if they don't view Knack as a good game.
Maybe. But for a free game, though, and you've got the sequel coming out, in October.
Maybe that's what they'll do. Maybe they'll put it on in September.
September, maybe. It'd be smart for them to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Although would people play that and go, oh, I don't like this?
Well, it was an alright game. It wasn't like a full, like, what was it, like £40 when it came out, or £50?
Yeah.
Like the sequel is only £25.
That's so crazy to me. Like, what is happening with games? Crash has come out cheap. Hellblade just came out cheap. Now that's coming out cheap. Is this a new like thing that's starting to happen?
I think it's just like they're just trying to, because I think they'll probably sell more, but it's cheaper. And with Crash, it's more nostalgia. Like, it's still #1 in the UK like each week.
This
like
Uncharted spin-off thing, that's coming out at a cheaper price.
Yeah, that's £30 RIP. So
maybe they're covering the cost of these cheaper games on PS Plus.
Maybe, yeah.
So PS Plus is going up. That's not really a good thing, but
No.
I think it's just a thing that we just come to expect at this point. So up next, back to Nintendo. Here we are, Nintendo News Corner. Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch. I believe these are coming to the PS4 soon. Well, Revelations already out, the second one, but the first one.
Yeah, it's coming out on August 29th for the PS4 and Xbox One. Revelations 1.
And it's later this year. They're both coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
And you can buy them both digitally, or you can buy them. You can buy them with a kind of a double pack, but you get Revelations 1 on the the game cartridge. Revelations 2 weirdly is a download title.
I think they've done it that way to probably keep costs down, because it costs differently, per cartridge.
Yeah.
Like Revelations 1 was already like quite a big title on the 3DS. I think it was the first time to use like an 8 gig cartridge on the 3DS.
Oh, it's quite big.
Yeah.
See, I don't know what I'm going to do there. I don't know if I'm going to download them together or if I'm going to buy the physical copy.
Well, I'm all digital for the Switch, so I'll probably just go for the digital versions. Or you could buy, because I don't think it's cheaper to buy them both at the same time, so you could just buy one, then when you finish that one, buy the second one.
Yeah, maybe that's a good point. I believe it's now, is it 1080p resolution, I think now?
It is, I think it's 1080 60 on the PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah, I think that's what the press statement put out was. They haven't specified what it is on the Switch, I don't believe, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, this is cool. I'm looking forward to playing the first one again. I know a lot of people don't really like it, to my knowledge, but I didn't mind it when I played it. Yeah,
I enjoyed it, and it was not too long, so like if like they did it like an episode structure.
Yeah, it was a perfect handheld game.
Yeah. I'm just reminded that this first did come out on 3DS, the first one.
And then they tried to do the same thing with the second one, the episodic, but I don't know if that was more just because they wanted to try something new. It was weird, the second one.
Yeah, it was like a budget price, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But they released it weekly, and then you could buy, and then they released it at retail when all the episodes came out.
Yeah, it was a really bizarre way of doing it. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
See, again, I've only played that once. I'm looking forward to playing that a second time.
Yeah, I am as well. Well, I figure it's the first Resident Evil on the Switch as well. Like playing the little tabletop mode or handheld mode.
Street Fighter performed well enough to allow this to come out on the Switch.
But just slight news on that. Apparently, they're doing the same thing with that Monster Hunter XX.
Oh, right.
They're saying if we need to wait and see how it sells.
Oh, okay. Does Monster Hunter sell well over here? I've never really paid attention to that.
I think it sells well enough, but it sells more in Japan. That's probably why it's Japan only at the moment.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because that's coming out, I think it's next month in Japan.
Alright, okay. That seems crazy. It's so weird how the games come out different in Japan and there's no like excitement over here for stuff.
Yeah, well, there was a petition, wasn't there, because they came out at E3 and they just said, well, no, we don't have any plans to localise it. And then people are like, why? Like, we like Monster Hunter. It's probably because of
Dragon Quest 11 got announced, came out, sorry. And it's like, why have we not got that now?
Yeah, well, it's weird because...
Sorry, was it 10?
It's 11. Yeah, because 10's the online one.
Yeah.
But yeah, because basically as soon as Dragon Quest 11 hit Japan, came out, they did a video saying, yeah, it's coming over to America and Europe
it just seems
next
crazy,
year.
The time differences, but I suppose it's so they can do the localization.
Well, the thing is, there's rumours going around, because Dragon Quest 8 didn't actually have voice acting in the Japanese version originally, and then when it came over to Europe and America, it had voice acting. So they might actually
recording voice acting.
Yeah, because that's more a Western thing, I guess.
it must be nice for them knowing they've got a game which they basically just need to put out. Like, everything works in it. They just need to add the text or whatever. And
everyone seems happy with like the version, like the 3DS version and PS4 version. Nothing on the Switch version yet, but it is coming apparently.
No. Speaking of Dragon Quest Builders 2 was announced for the Switch and PS4. So that's coming to the Switch.
You can definitely tell this. Yeah, it seems like the Switch has become the new Vita in Japan.
I think the Switch is just starting to take off now. I think people are starting to appreciate it more. A lot more companies are starting to, recognise it and think, oh, we might do a game on that.
Yeah, and because it's on the go as well, like people will pick it up.
Yeah. Like, also we saw Super Meat Boy. That was announced this week, I believe.
Yeah. And
there was a couple more, I can't think what they were off the top of my head, but there was a couple more announced. It's like more and more people are getting into the idea of, this Switch thing might be a decent little console.
Yeah. It's getting quite a lot of indie support.
That's well exciting to me. I love indie games.
Yeah.
I love just playing, like, strange, just unusual things, not your main AAA games.
Yeah.
I love the like, Pyre. Look how, like, bizarre and... no AAA studio is going to make that game.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that sort of thing. But anyway, Dragon Quest Builders 2. This time, it has co-op, which... That's what I wanted from the first game. That is the reason I didn't buy the first game. Now it has co-op, much like I was saying earlier with Stardew Valley. You can work together, you can build stuff, like, I could build something and you'd be like, oh, you'd be able to come and see it, and, do you know what I mean? It's...
Yeah.
Because I don't see the point of building something amazing and cool, and nobody can see it. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And it's the perfect Switch machine. Switch game.
Yeah, it's coming to PS4. Well, you already said that, didn't you? It's coming to PS4. Yeah.
It's. I believe this time you also have a paraglider. Like the Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Paraglider.
I wonder what. Yeah, they definitely got that from that.
Yeah, and it's got I think undersea exploration, which that seems pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you can build stuff under there, like a little secret shrine and stuff underneath.
Maybe.
But yeah, Dragon Quest Builders 2. It's always a mouthful, that sentence.
Yeah.
I always wanted to get it in the original one, but like I said, just the lack of co-op really put me off it. The lack of any multiplayer.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand the point of why you'd build this mega fortress or whatever.
But I think it had some story though to it, didn't it? It's not like you just build stuff and that's it.
Yeah, it's a story game. Like the new one will have a story as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that whenever it comes out.
Yeah, we don't know if it probably is coming over to the West, but this was only like fully announced for Japan.
I think it'll be over here. I think the first one probably did quite well.
Yeah, well, every other one's come out like Dragon Quest Heroes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
But people like that sort of Minecraft style gameplay, so I think it'll do all right for itself.
Yeah. And
they put out a demo, which I think put a lot, got a lot of people into it for the first one. I mean.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's 2 games announced for Switch. Next up, I want to mention something that's coming to Sonic Mania, and that's a competitive multiplayer thing. I believe it was Sonic 2 that originally had this particular game mode on.
Yeah, it did. Because that's when you could play as Tails as well. Just
yeah, you can play as Tails and Knuckles in Sonic Mania. You can do stuff like you can determine how many rounds you want to go for, what power-ups you can use. I believe it's only local multiplayer.
Yeah.
Which
keeping it
that
retro.
Kind of sucks. That's one thing that's always a case on Nintendo machines. I know it's not Nintendo, but they seem
to. It's on every platform, but I know what you mean there.
They seem to just ignore online. Actually, it is on every platform. I keep thinking it's Nintendo only.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's so they don't have to build up the whole online server system and all that stuff.
Mhm.
They can just let you play. But that's so much fun. If you're out and about somewhere, like for example, if we go to like a gaming convention or whatever, we can just play it like in the queue. We can just pop it off and just do a little split screen thing.
I wonder, have they actually said that you could use one Joy-Con? Like,
I can't see it not working though, because you've got like 3 buttons for Sonic.
Yeah, and like jump, like the spin dash and whatnot. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's like 3 buttons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could definitely see it working with little Joy-Cons. It makes perfect sense for the Switch as well. Like I wonder if the Switch is the reason they've put that game mode in there.
Maybe.
Because I can't see him going, yeah, that'd be good on PS4. Whereas this is Switch and it's like, okay, fair enough. And Sonic Mania is out next week.
Yep, Tuesday, 15th of August.
So we'll be talking about that in the next episode. I can guarantee that.
Definitely.
I'm definitely looking forward to Sonic 2. I suspect we won't have time to play the competitive multiplayer. I don't think there'll be anywhere we have a chance to meet up and, check it out.
Yeah, but we'll definitely be playing the single player mode.
Definitely. And now, the final piece of news in the Nintendo News Corner. The Nintendo Championships are back for 2017.
World Championships.
Oh, sorry, Nintendo World Championships are back for 2017. I think they believe in the 7th of October in New York.
Yeah, that's the finals.
That's the finals, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We watched the last one. I believe they live streamed it. Was like 6 hours long, something like that?
Yeah, it was during a wrestling pay-per-view, wasn't it? That's why it was up at that time. Because it was it just before E3 in June?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And you had what was it? Half of them were pro gamers, and the other half were YouTubers. I think that's how it worked.
I'm not sure. It might have been that, like streamers and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, streamers and YouTubers and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And which seems like a terrible idea, because obviously the pro gamers were gonna win. So I don't quite know why they did that. But it's a lot of fun. It's just a fun, dumb experience just watching these people play games.
Yeah. Like, I enjoyed it. Because that's when they showed off, like, Mario Kart 8 200cc.
Yeah, we'll get some announcements there.
Well, I'm going to say this now. Because Earthbound Beginnings, like, the Mother 1, got announced at the Nintendo World Championships.
Yep.
Is Mother 3 going to get announced?
No, but Super Smash Bros. Is.
Oh, do you think so? Some people are thinking it could be Smash Bros.
Something's getting announced there.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but something's getting announced.
Yeah, 7th of October. Not sure. I don't think they've given a time.
No, I don't believe they have.
Yeah, because I know there's some qualifying stuff, but they haven't said what games and whatnot.
But I believe by then Pokken will be out. Yeah. Mario will be on the horizon.
Yeah, it'll be 20 days away.
Mario Rabbids will be out.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's Ubisoft, but same sort of boat. And what's the other game they've got? I don't know, but that'll be out wherever it is. I can't remember what it is.
Well, I'm trying to think of the games what they did, because they did Metroid Prime, didn't they? They had to escape the level.
It was the intro sequence where they were escaping from the thing that was blowing up.
That was it. Yeah,
I believe
it was entertaining to watch.
It was a lot of fun
because
it was basically like to speedrun this little section, didn't they?
Yeah, and then because they had that. They had Mario Kart 200cc.
Yep.
Do you remember what else they had?
I believe they had Balloon. What's it called now? Balloon
Fight.
Balloon Fight. I think that was there.
Yeah.
I remember the music.
And they debuted what was going to be Federation Force, Blast Ball.
Oh, Blast Ball, yeah.
So you can download
that's
that.
When we first saw it.
Yeah, because we were like, oh, new game. What's it going to be? It's like Blast Ball.
Metroid Prime Federation Force. And everyone went, boo. No, that one there, weren't they? They showed it off, but I don't think they announced the game there, did they?
No, it was just the Blast Ball concept of it.
Yeah, they showed the game off at E3 a couple of weeks later.
Yeah, and then I think the final was it a stage made on Mario Maker?
Yeah, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately for everyone listening who's not a Nintendo fan, when it comes around to the episode around that time, you're going to hear about Nintendo again.
Yeah.
But not like we won't mention it in between.
Yeah.
Hopefully, though, I believe Gamescom is happening very close to whenever we next record.
Yeah, so we should get some new announcements.
We're probably going to be talking about Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't know if PlayStation are there, are they?
Yeah, they haven't announced anything. So far, it's like Bandai Namco, EA, Nintendo, and yeah, that's it.
So we'll definitely have some more news from different publishers and companies and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's all the news for today, unless I'm forgetting anything.
The only thing we could mention is that Overwatch is getting deathmatch and team deathmatch modes.
Oh, of course, yeah. Was that announced yesterday as of recording this?
It was, yeah. Announced on Thursday.
The 10th of October.
Yeah.
No, sorry, not October. The 10th
I was going to say, Jesus, forward in time there.
It seems so weird to me that a team deathmatch in Overwatch. Do they have to just rebalance the entire maps to get it to work?
Yeah, because it's normally about holding a position, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's super weird.
I'm moving it. Yeah.
And is it free for all, or is it team deathmatch, or is it both?
Both.
Okay.
Because
a team deathmatch I could see working.
Yeah, but free for all is going to be a bit nuts.
Mess.
Yeah. I suppose at the end of the day, it's another mode,
Yeah,
for free. It's not like they're paying for it, so
they'll balance it over time, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our news section. Now we're going to go to questions. There is one question I'm taking this week because I think it could get quite a big conversation, depending on how creative we are.
Right.
And that is, it's from Johnny Moore again, killing it with questions as always. Are there any films/TV shows you would like to see a game adaptation of? I don't know if you want to kick us off with any suggestion you have.
Right. Game of Thrones strategy game.
Whoa, a strategy game. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, because think of the massive like battles.
Yeah, I did think of Game of Thrones and I thought, well, it's kind of had a game, but it's not had a strategy game.
Yeah, because I was thinking it's had a Telltale like story game. So
it's had like an RPG.
Has it? Oh yeah, I forgot about that game actually. You're saying it, but
strategy game.
But I was thinking like a strategy game, like a Battle for Middle Earth, like that type.
Yeah, you build up your resources and stuff like that. You go to the Iron Bank and get money and all that stuff.
Yeah, because you got your different kingdoms, like you got your Lannisters, you got your Starks, you got whatnot.
It'd work really well in a Civ style game as well.
Yeah,
and you partner up with other countries and whatever, or other, I don't know what you call it in Game of Thrones, other banners and houses and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool. Like that's a genius idea.
Yeah, when I was thinking, I was like, what could I? Because it's like most of my thinking was like, what's not been done, like like because most games have come out with with certain licenses.
All like the popular TV shows and stuff. Yeah, the games and stuff exist for them.
Yeah.
So I had to sort of think a little bit outside the box with stuff.
Yeah.
That's such a good suggestion. Like a strategy Game of Thrones game.
I think Daenerys might be a bit OP though with the dragon, but
yeah, well, you'd have to nerf her in some other way, wouldn't you? Or you'd have to give like.
Well, I suppose they have certain arrows.
Yeah, give certain characters ways to kill them and that sort of thing. Yeah. But it's like as Jon, you'd have. How are we going into spoilers? I think we can do. It was,
right, spoiler warning now. Shall we just say that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like, you could have Jon as a Starks. They could have the big giant.
Oh yeah.
And characters like that. So they'd all have their own little moments. Like Cersei'd have the Hound, not the Hound. Sorry, the Mountain.
The Mountain. Yeah.
And so he'd make up for a dragon, squashing people's heads.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd work really nicely. You could have your hero fractions and stuff like that as well, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Like your leader types.
Like
I want to see this game now. I want it to happen.
Because you could even have like the story mode, like in the show, like you have certain like houses team up and whatnot, and give them like the money and whatnot and attack.
Having to like fight Ramsay and stuff like that, and
you got to take this certain part. Yeah.
I want this game to happen now.
Yeah. That was my main thing.
Well excited for this.
Yeah.
And it's not even happening.
Come on.
This is a mobile game.
Oh, I just realised the microtransaction thing this will be, won't it?
Yeah. But if this came to PC, it'd be genius.
Yeah.
Sort of a cross between like your traditional action game where you got to build your resources and a Civ type game where you build your relationships up with your neighbouring allies and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
My God, it's genius. Genius, I tell you.
So,
any other suggestions? Or do you want me to do one of mine?
Well, my last one was, it's pretty much like a carbon copy of Uncharted, but with Indiana Jones.
See, I was thinking Indiana Jones, but then there has been games in the past.
Are they more like, well, the more 2D ones out there, or like
there was a 3D
Monkey
one,
Island?
But it wasn't that good.
Alright, I have no idea on the 3D one.
I get what I would like to see that to myself, to be honest. If you did it well, it'd be really good. Especially how like the whip mechanic worked, or the rope, sorry, worked in Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
See that sort of thing with Indiana Jones, it'd be so cool. Get Harrison Ford back to voice him.
Yeah.
That'd be a good suggestion. I'd love to see that. Would you set it based on the films, or would you have it like a brand new story?
Maybe the first game have it based on like one of the movies, and then do a new story afterwards if it sells well. Yeah,
that makes sense. Because there's so many like potentials for him. Because I'm guessing he didn't go on 3 adventures and leave it there. Well, 4 adventures if you want to count the other one.
Do you? No, but yeah.
I'm guessing he had more than those adventures. So yeah, there's plenty of room for growth and development there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you've done one TV, one movie there. Okay, I'll do the same thing then. Have you got any honourable mentions before I jump ahead?
Nope.
Okay.
I was trying to think. I was like, nah.
I'll do mine. See if you think about while I'm doing mine.
Right.
So my TV show that I'd love to see like turn into a game, Doctor Who. And now I know Doctor Who games have existed. I'd be going straight at point and click. Classic like Monkey Island Broken Sword style gameplay. Because obviously Doctor Who is more about him outthinking people than it is about him fighting people.
Yeah. So you mean as a sonic screwdriver?
Exactly. So you look around the environment, you know, find clues to discover stuff. Maybe it splits off at a point and you play as his companion.
Right.
I say his. He's not he anymore, is he? I'd just love to see like a proper like retro style RPG. Even maybe have a throwback graphic style.
Well, I think they did like that type. I forgot what it was called now. It was like a free to play game.
Oh, it was like
the BBC show.
The kids thing. It were on the BBC website.
Because I think you had to download it, but I can't remember what it was. It had like proper 3D graphics.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't think it was that good though, was it?
No, and then the only other Doctor Who game I could think of is Eternity Clock. What was the PS3
which was like
and PC?
Platformer, I believe.
Yeah, with Matt Smith.
The only other style I'd do it if it wasn't point and click would
Telltale.
be like it'd be like a Telltale game or Life is Strange, that type of thing. You know, you got your branching story paths and your characters that you talk to and build relationships with and that sort of thing. But I think a point and click could work better.
Yeah,
maybe that's
I
just
get that.
I just like point and click games, so maybe that's just me. I did think of a couple of things, like I'd love to see a proper Lost game. I know Lost game has existed, but it was pretty terrible.
By Ubisoft.
Again, I'd love to see a game based on 24. One as exists, but it's pretty terrible. Another one that I'd really love to see is Stranger Things. I don't really want to talk too much about this because you obviously haven't seen it yet. I don't believe. You haven't
I ain't seen it just yet.
Just playing off the retro style, you know, because obviously it's set back when.
Yeah.
Playing off the retro style of the age, maybe like a 2D platformer type thing. Or, you know, something along the lines. Maybe like a horror game, actually. I don't know. But I'd love to see sort of a Stranger Things type game. As for movies, I kind of struggle with this one because, like you with Indiana Jones, they've all sort of been done, like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, you know, etc., etc. It came down to two things. One, it's going to be a Planet of the Apes game, or two, you know, The Thing, the movie, John Carpenter's The Thing.
I think that was a game.
Again, there has been a game of that.
Yeah.
But I'd go for a proper, you know, horror game, much like a Resident Evil 7.
Ah, right, yeah.
That sort of thing. Because the idea that... Have you seen The Thing?
I haven't, no.
I'm going to spoil it partially right now. Just a little bit.
That's fine.
So this monster can replicate anything or anyone. So, like, the dog could be The Thing, or another character could be The Thing, you know, because he can transform into him.
Right.
And so imagine that, like, element of you don't know who to trust. Maybe make it a multiplayer game.
Right.
And one of you is The Thing, and, you know, you've got to all work out who it is and kill him before he escapes. That'd work really well. But no, the one that I was thinking of was Planet of the Apes, to be honest. I think that game could work so well. At the beginning of it, it says, do you want to be the apes? Do you want to be the humans? And then, obviously, depending on which side you are, you fight the other one. I think I'd have it kind of like... It'd be like, you know, like a Far Cry where you've got your outposts which you can take over and you've each got like a main base. And I think it'd play similar to Splinter Cell. I mean, is it Conviction? Maybe Blacklist as well. You know, so you've got the tight action gameplay.
Alright, that sounds cool.
Maybe as the apes, you can like climb up stuff, and you know, because it's slightly more agile. But maybe there'd be a drawback that maybe they won't be able to get as many guns and that sort of thing. And so, like, they'd each have like bonuses to them. I'd definitely love to see a Planet of the Apes game. I'm guessing one's probably existed. Everything else has got a game based around it.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I just can't remember like a PS1 game.
The only time I can imagine one happening was when that Mark Wahlberg film came out.
Yeah, that was 01. So that was just early PlayStation 2.
Yeah, so that's the only time I can imagine a Planet of the Apes game came out.
Yeah. Just a reference, it seems like a lot of movie games now are not actually getting games. Like, apart from mobile games, like, you know, like they're cheap mobile cash-ins.
Naff mobile games out there, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like we don't get the full, like, console games, like, you know, like, what was the last, like, superhero ones? Like Iron Man 2 and stuff like that? And,
I think so, yeah, or Captain America, whatever that was.
Yeah. I know we are getting, well, Square Enix are doing stuff now, aren't they, with Marvel?
Yeah, but they're not based on the movies and stuff, are they?
Oh, they're not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, they're the two I'd love to see most, the Thing and Planet of the Apes as far as movies go, and Doctor Who for a TV show. But there's a couple of other stuff I'd love to see a proper Die Hard game. I know that's existed on PS1.
I love Die Hard. I think it was Die Hard 2, when you could cheat because you could make the heads like go proper massive.
Well, how did that play? Was that just more like a first-person shooter then?
Yeah, it was an FPS game, yeah.
See, I'd love it where it's sort of a stealth action game and you're sort of sneaking around and try to, you know, save these people the hostages while they're trying to find you and that sort of thing.
Yeah. That'd be more like, well, it'd be a bit like Counter-Strike, that one, with the hostages, but that's FPS way of doing it.
Yeah, but I think it'd be mostly a stealth game. It'd be like a Splinter Cell, basically.
Yeah.
It'd play like a Splinter Cell. I just love that idea of that working. I'd love to see a really good Jurassic Park game, maybe a survival horror type thing.
Yeah, because we've only had Telltale and like side-scroller
We had a Telltale game,
ones.
we had side-scrollers, and I believe there was like a park builder.
Yeah.
You know, like a roller
like a Zoo Tycoon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think they're the ones. But I think you win Game of Thrones strategy game.
Yeah.
I think you win.
Well, I was just like thinking, I was just like, epic set. It's what recent episode like it just like I was just like, oh yeah, I love like playing that in a strategy game.
It's just perfect. Like I were expecting Terminator. You've not gone there.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Game of Thrones or Indiana Jones. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I was thinking like Red Dwarf would be like one.
How would that work? I've never watched that, so I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure. That's like a sci-fi game show. Like,
would that be again a point and click type thing or a Telltale game?
Probably like a Telltale game if it was with the characters.
Is it? Well, how's it played? Is it like a space adventure?
I would say so. Yeah. Like they go around like different. Like they're on the Red Dwarf is based at the ship. And
would like an FTL type game work where you take control of your spaceship and you've got to fly to different places?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that could work.
Because it was crew on the ship.
Yeah, because I remember, is it Lego Dimensions? Like they teased like I can't remember. It was some pack. There was some game where they teased like something with Red Dwarf, and they said no, it's just an Easter egg.
I think it's the Doctor Who one.
That
you
might
go
be
through a portal and it takes you to an area. But then obviously it got secretly cancelled, Lego Dimensions, and nobody knows what's happening since.
Because everyone was like, oh my god, Red Dwarf figures, like, you know, Lego. It was like, yes.
They did that before. They teased something else. I think in the first year, they teased something for the second year, and then it came out. So whether a third year was originally planned or what, I don't know.
Well, is there no more figures coming out for that now?
I think there's the final wave where you get Teen Titans, Powerpuff Girls, and Beetlejuice.
Ah, right. Are they just team packs or level packs?
There's one level pack. I think Beetlejuice is a level. What the one it's called where you just get a single figure?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. The Beetlejuice, you just get him and his little vehicle or whatever it is.
Right.
There's a pack where you get 2 Powerpuff Girls and 2 vehicles, and then there's a final one which I think is a level pack and a Powerpuff Girl.
Right.
And then there's Teen Titans, there's a level pack and 2, like a double pack.
Mhm.
Anyway, I don't know why we're talking about Lego Dimensions.
Yeah, I know, it's about because I drifted on with that, but yeah.
So I believe that is it for episode 8 of Game Focus. Any more questions, leave them below and we'll try and answer them, not next week, but the week after, because obviously we're changing the format slightly.
Hold on, you didn't do a game recommendation.
Oh my god, it's been a while. Just
Alright, cut that bit off.
First with your recommendation.
Well, I was going to say I don't actually have one.
I'm just
going off. Like, I did say previously Zelda Ocarina of Time, but I didn't want to say that again. Like, the free games, it's just like, I've already recommended Crash.
Go play the Game of Thrones strategy game.
Yeah, go play that if it comes out in the future. Yeah. I was saying for you, like,
I'm struggling. I think if I had to choose one, I'd actually go with Pyre. I think I'd say go play Pyre.
Alright, I thought you would have picked Hellblade.
I was thinking the same thing, but like right now thinking about it, I'd rather go play Pyre over Hellblade. Maybe it's because Hellblade's more of a, you sit down, get comfy, casual, play the story.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Pyre's a little bit more loosey-goosey.
Right, because I was going to say Sonic Mania because it will be out by the time of recording. But we don't know how it...
If you want to say Sonic Mania, you can say Sonic Mania.
I'll wait till the next episode, see how it plays, just in case. You never know.
Do you have anything that you can recommend? Did you say something? Did you say...
Well, like I said, it would have been Zelda Ocarina of Time and like Crash Insane Trilogy, but I have said that previous episodes.
Alright, okay. You don't have to have one. So go play Pyre then. That's your recommendation. That's your homework.
Joint recommendation.
So I believe I've already done my outro before we got into this, because I forgot something. So yeah, we'll just do a recap. Any questions, leave them below. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Hopefully we'll have Gamescom news. We'll probably be recording mid-Gamescom, so we might have some news that week and then some of the week after. And that's the end of episode 8 of Game Focus. Hope you come back next time. Goodbye.